and I sent him a link to a story. I should read it right here and get it right.
Just
Hopefully
read the
Patrick
title of the story.
That's it. The title is the whole thing. The title of the story is... I'm not going to get through this whole thing. Today I learned, this is off Reddit, today I learned a man fell on a high-pressure air valve. It lodged in his butt and inflated him to twice his size.
No.
Nearly killing him. He survived, but it took 3 days to fart and burp out all the excess.
So
I wish you could send you a screenshot of Gus and my conversation.
yeah, we started talking about it, and then I was like, no, we got to stop. We can't talk about it. We have to wait till we're on the podcast to talk about this.
Inflated him through his anus.
So what I said was, though, if you read the article, it says that the valve pierced his buttocks and inflated him.
How does that happen?
And I said,
First of all, you gotta...
it's like that old Seinfeld episode.
He fell on it, which is like, anytime somebody comes into the emergency room and says, oh, I fell on something,
He was shoving it up his ass, right?
It's up their butt.
Look at his face,
It's
like he
that
fell on
Seinfeld
anything.
episode. It's a 1 in a million shot, Doc. It was a 1 in a million shot.
Oh my god.
So I said, isn't the digestive tract a sealed system? Like, how could the air have gotten into that? So
it
that
would
he
be
could
like
fart and burp?
inflating a load of sausage skins.
Right, but
It could have been the way
weren't
they're
clear-
writing it. They were writing for, I guess, a general audience. Piercing the buttock means it could have just gone straight in.
But
Like
they
into
also
the
said that
skin?
it separated fat from muscle.
Oh.
Would it?
How did he not
If it
die?
stretched you enough, it might do that anyway.
I think they said that it stretched him so much that he went blind in one eye temporarily.
Oh. See, I can understand it going through his buttock and maybe, separating all this tissue with air. And that makes sense that he got twice as big. But how did he burp it out? How did he get it in his lungs and anus to burp it?
I don't know.
This doesn't make any sense.
Do you
Also,
think?
would it take you 3 days to get rid of all that?
Do you think that he saw the error of his ways?
Oh, dear Lord.
Oh.
I would just pull the valve out and then fly around the room like a balloon.
Yeah.
Cared less.
We talked about all these on our plane podcast we had a few years ago. But then there was that one we were on where we were full speed taking off and he just slammed the brakes and we just stopped in the middle of the runway because they had an emission of some sort. And then
we looked at the control panel. We had some kind of emission. We're gonna try to troubleshoot it up here in the cockpit, and we'll get back to you.
I think
Okay.
one of the guys on the ground farted.
Yeah. So what does emission mean to you?
Fart.
Fart. Our control panel farted. What does emission mean to you? You thought it was smoke?
yeah, I thought it would have been, something came out of the plane. I had a lucid dream the other night.
Did you?
Did you?
It was awesome. It's probably like the second or third one I've ever had. I was in my house with my family in England. For some reason, that wasn't weird to me. I was just in England. And nobody...
Why would that be weird? That
Because
you
I
would
don't
be in
live
your
there.
house. Oh,
It felt like it was just normal.
okay.
But basically, nobody could really understand me. Like, everyone would start talking right before I finished what I was saying, and they would misunderstand me. And I was getting really worked up. And I was like, wait a sec. Whenever I start talking, someone else starts talking. And it just wasn't making sense. Someone was off about it. And then I decided, I was like, it's totally a dream. So I started yelling. I was like, why won't anyone listen to me? And then I picked up this, there's this weird gem on the table, and I picked it up, and I was gonna bat my brother over the top of the head with it. And I was like, 80% sure it was a dream. But I was like,
80% sure.
But I was like, this actually might be real. It might really hurt him. So I didn't do it.
What was the gem? Like a
It
big
was like
diamond?
it was like a green diamond.
And you didn't think that was weird?
Nah. So I was about to whack him over the head. I didn't. Instead, I kicked the front door open and started running outside, and everything started melting, and the gem melted through my hand. I was like, it was a dream.
That's pretty cool.
I could have lamped my brother over the head
Sounds like
with
that scene from Aladdin.
it. Yeah.
Can you run?
Yeah.
Can you run in your dreams? A lot of people can't.
No, it was sludgy for sure.
Yeah.
But everything was like a wet painting.
Yeah.
I always find my dreams are just observing situations. I'm never involved in them.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
I've had that.
Sometimes in
I'm
my
all over
dreams,
the place.
like you talk about how people have trouble running. I definitely have trouble running in my dreams. And a lot of time in my dreams, I have trouble speaking. It's like the words aren't coming out of my mouth.
Yeah, you know what? You know how I can always tell if something's a dream? Like if I get in that moment because somebody told me this. So if I'm not sure if it's a dream or not, in the dream I say, give me something to read. And they give me something to read. I'm like, yeah, that's not. You can't read in a dream. Did you know that?
Oh, you can definitely read. I've heard that before. But I've read in dreams.
Someone told me that. So now all the time in dreams, I'm like doing something. I'm like, well, I can't read this. I go, oh, this is a dream. And I'm like, to whoever's in the dream, I'm like, look at this. It's a fucking read that. It's crazy. Can't read that, can you? And it's just like that has been one of the most common themes in my dreams in the last 2 or 3 years is because somebody told me you can't read in a dream.
So what is it when you try and read it? Just a load of goop, like squiggles?
It's just random.
I'm going to start
blah.
printing out a bunch of nonsense and just start handing it to you. If I can make you think you're dreaming.
That's really funny.
A page of garbled stuff. I'm gonna look that up and see if it's true. If somebody just planted that idea in my head.
I feel like I can read in dreams. I think maybe it was you who told me that, and I started trying to pay attention to that.
Yeah.
There's a
Never thought of
WikiHow
that before.
article, how to tell if you're dreaming.
Oh, let's get some of these.
Go to
on the-
WikiHow in your dream.
If you could read it, you're not dreaming.
If you're in the middle of a dream, go to answers.yahoo.com.
This is almost as good as the signs of death. Are you flying unaided? It might be in a dream.
Might be.
What else is there?
Is your head removed from body?
Check your appearance. Is it your body? What a dumb fucking
They have a point though. Like, how often do you look in the mirror in a dream?
I like the idea that, like, I'm not sure if I'm dreaming. I'm gonna check a website. And then it's
Is
like,
that me?
I mean, this can only be done by people who are currently not dreaming, right?
Yeah.
So you go, yep, my body.
Unless that exists in the dream world as well.
Well, then you're just making notes for later.
Yeah, but wouldn't it be cool if there was a global, everyone was interlinked to an internet that was just for dreams, but everyone had the same internet?
No.
It'd be awesome.
It'd
I
be
don't know if a
awful.
lot of people would want that.
No, I would definitely not want that.
This is the dumbest article I've ever read in my life.
So
So if they got on there, like, if you see Leonardo DiCaprio and Ellen Page and all that stuff, you're definitely in a dream.
It's like, can you make objects move across the room without trying?
Didn't you have a
You're
dream
probably in a dream.
where you were marrying Monica from Friends? Or like you were getting with
I
her?
was dating her, like,
it
night
was
by
a series
night.
of dreams.
Whatever
yeah.
happened with that?
I never met her again. She pissed off. I was right. I was gonna shag her. I
Yeah.
really was. I had it.
That's the worst.
Hey, what happened to the drop of water?
It's gone.
It's gone.
but
Never
doesn't
came
it
back.
always go away and then come back?
No, it was there for like 2 weeks straight.
Do you think it's because it was like iced over for a while? You think it might have just been melting
Or do you think
ice?
it's because we talked
I
about
think
it?
it's because we talked about it.
It knows now.
Yeah.
It knows you're looking for it.
Yeah.
There
There
it
it
is.
is.
You can see the different places where it's been.
That's
but-
such an anticlimactic end to this.
I know.
It's
To
just
what?
gone.
I went to LA.
An anticlimactic end to what? To the story of a water drop on the floor?
I wanted to find out if it was that fucking spider in his rug or not.
What would be the climactic ending to that
wasn't a
fucking
fucking
story?
Anything that happened.
What happened to the water drop on your floor? It was Hitler. That would be, I mean, what else could it possibly be? It's a fucking bead of water sitting on a wood floor.
We could get resolution.
I think
As
you
in-
fucked up and I think you're covering your tracks. Because you
No, I
fucked that
didn't.
floor up.
I didn't.
That thing's all, look at all the hard water stains on that floor.
I didn't do it.
Do you
Anyway,
just like jizz in the same place every day, maybe? Like,
not on the
just
floor,
like
I'm not a
Clear,
disgusting person.
liquid.
But
jizz.
I went to LA over the weekend. I came back and it was
Speaking of jizz.
still gone. Wait, what?
No. It just never showed up.
Brutal. 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 We don't have any Valentine's Day sponsors, do we?
So that one.
Oh, did
pretty
you
fun.
see that someone in GTA tested your run down a mountain theory? They got on
did?
a plane and then tried to run down a mountain.
Did it work?
Yep. Listen, that's what Twitter told me, and I haven't seen the video or anything like that. But they told me somebody tested your theory in GTA.
There's no reason that wouldn't work in real life.
Listen, yeah,
it's a few reasons.
from a probability perspective, you could probably hit the angle at just the right way, but you're not gonna get that probability.
Be difficult.
You gotta tuck and roll.
Fuck no.
You gotta hope for a smooth slope, get running, and then just roll out of it.
Aren't you also the person who said if you were like falling from a really high up place, you would try to land on one leg because it's like I'll break one leg and the other one will be fine.
Yeah. I mean,
great
why,
logic.
why ruin both legs at the same time?
That's a good
Because
point.
you-
Why, Gavin? Fuck it. Yeah. Or just like get something like a big piece of plywood that's next to you, stand on it, and jump right before you land. And it's like you're only falling 5 feet.
That doesn't make sense because that's
That would be silly.
But I
That
have to
doesn't
hop
make
to the
sense.
hospital.
What is Jupiter? If I land on Jupiter, am I ever gonna land on
It's
anything?
a giant fart.
It's a,
It's a giant
Giant
emission.
emission.
It's a huge emission.
it's
But
a,
is it just gas the whole way down?
poop
it's a
Jupiter.
gas giant? No, there's land, but it's stodgy, I think, and you'd have to go.
Stodgy. Is that what it says in like the NASA manual?
What's stodgy?
Jupiter.
Like hard-
lots of gas. Stodgy.
It's
So if you
hard,
took
hard to
up-
walk. It'd be like walking in a dream, I imagine.
Say you were like enormous dude, big dude, and you went up to Jupiter and you went, how big is Jupiter? Like you blew off all the gas. Is Jupiter like smaller than Earth or is it bigger than Earth?
You're talking about like it's a solid floor.
I'm talking the planet.
Well, I mean, it is the planet. The gas is the planet too.
Yeah, but you don't consider the oxygen atmosphere part of our planet. Like that's not our planet.
It's an important part of our planet.
It is an important part of our planet, but you're not going to land on the clouds and like, hey, or conquer this in the name of Antares
Earth.
2 or whatever. You know, you're not going to do that. Kerbal. I'm not gonna land on a cloud. I'm gonna land on the planet. I mean, it's acceptable that the land mass is the planet, right?
I
We have
guess-
clouds.
I guess the center of the planet isn't as dense as the Earth. And that's
It's not
why-
as dense.
Yeah.
Is it as big though?
Well, it's huge, isn't it? Jupiter, you can fit every other planet in it.
Inside
He's just talking about the landmass though, not the,
I have no
not the
idea.
gas.
You want to what you want to do is X-ray Jupiter.
No, so what I want to do is like go to, I punch through the clouds and I go land on that thing. Like say I go up to that fucking red eye that it's got, and I go, I'm fucking land on that
The
thing.
storm.
There you go.
You want to land in the middle of the biggest storm in the solar system.
Why not? What the fuck? I got a
It's the one that's
spaceship.
bigger than planet Earth.
I got a spaceship and I got a lot of ambition. Let's do it. So I go and I land on the red eye. Do I go through the eye and
Are you
then
going to take the red eye?
I'll take
Nice.
the red eye. I'm gonna bring a high pressure air valve. I'm gonna go right in the red eye.
And then you go to the doctors and say, I fell on it. I promise.
Jupiter fell on me.
Maybe that's why it's got so much gas.
But what happens? I mean, do I go through the clouds and then I'm on the planet, or is it just gas the whole way down? And I come out the other side and I go, well, that was a lot of effort for nothing.
Well, it can't be gas the whole way down
Why not?
because it has a core to keep all the other gas
it has to have
around
a
it.
gravity.
That's what I'm talking about.
If it was the same thickness as it is on the top, in the middle, it'd probably just disperse and float away.
Maybe not though.
Or
could
maybe not.
What is it? Is it
It's
denser
so
gas
dense.
or is there what?
There's got to be something. There's got to be something.
I'm asking Gavin. I know Gavin doesn't know, but he will never say he doesn't know. He's gonna.
I will know. Does anyone know? Yeah, they probably do, don't they?
Probably a billion people right now are tweeting at us.
I'm
being
sure they have. I'll
Fucking
look it up.
idiots.
Have we been there?
Well, they have
Have
the
we-
internet too.
Satellites.
We have satellites around it.
Here's
We've
Jupiter's
sent satellites
size.
by it.
Assuming the its center is metallic hydrogen.
Okay.
Fancy.
It's a cloud tops, gaseous hydrogen, then a layer of liquid hydrogen, then metallic hydrogen, and then a core of rock, metals, and hydrogen compounds.
Man, Jupiter loves hydrogen.
Yeah, it's a bitch. You know, it makes me wonder. Like, they found that planet that's out there. There's like an entire planet that's essentially diamond. It's like one enormous
Right.
diamond out there.
Imagine living there, knowing you had all of Earth's value, but you couldn't do anything with it.
Like,
Okay.
what would you do? I mean, well, I wonder that. Like, I wonder if it's like, is there an element on Earth like is like carbon in the form we have now? Is that super rare, or is it like water?
How about water?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it like? Although they're, you know, fucking NASA. They're like, how many times are they gonna find water on Mars?
Fucking
how many
NASA.
times are they gonna do that? They've done it like 10 times now. They found water on that.
I think every
goddamn
time it's
planet.
like evidence. I think they're not going to be happy until they can take a picture of water flowing
All
on
right,
Mars.
then fucking hold off until they
So
do
they
that.
just keep finding the same evidence.
I think it's like more
That's like
evidence.
a guy who died from a gunshot. Oh, another bullet. It was definitely a gun. There's another bullet.
It's exactly right. So how many guns are they gonna find?
I think going back to your comment about the diamond planet, whoever said it, I think there was a paper written that there was speculation, I forget if it was Saturn or Jupiter, that one of them could theoretically rain diamonds because the pressure's so great in the gas atmosphere that the carbon gets
Will just be crushed.
compacted, and then it gets like shot back up by high winds and then compacted over and over until it's just got diamonds and essentially raining diamonds in the upper
Diamonds
atmosphere.
in the sky.
I think Saturn also floats
What?
if you had it in a big tub of water.
Because it's less dense than water.
Yeah.
Very big
Okay.
tub of water.
I'll get that tub going any day now. That would be the worst thing imaginable. Can you imagine being in a diamond rain? How bad would that fucking hurt? And you're saying it goes up too?
Yeah.
Fuck that. That'd be the worst. That would be the
You're getting
worst.
hit by diamonds from every side.
That would be. I couldn't imagine a natural phenomenon that's worse. That's worse than raining diamonds
Why-
up and down.
Why is that worse than like glass?
Because diamonds are like the hardest thing imaginable. They would just tear you to shreds.
It would shred you.
That's the hardest thing we have, right? Like, what the fuck is metal hydrogen? Now I'm scared of that.
Metallic hydrogen.
Well, you know how there's some limits that you can't go past, like absolute zero, you can't get colder.
Right.
Is there absolute hard?
Absolute hard.
But like you can't
Absolute
get any
death.
harder.
Yeah, I got it right here.
like.
It's my dick.
Well, like
you
here,
can't see it on
here I
camera.
have a legitimate question about science.
Cracked
I want to
diamond.
know, what is the center of Jupiter? What is it? And they go through all this shit: cloud tops, gaseous hydrogen, then a layer of liquid nitrogen or hydrogen, then a metallic hydrogen, then a core of rock, metals, and hydrogen compounds. Okay, first of all, rock is too generic a term for science. We can't use the term rock anymore.
Well, what is rock?
It's just right. It's just right. It's just stuff. Why don't I just say stuff? Hard stuff. I think is what is it? It's like I want to know what Jupiter's made of. Well, it's made out of rock.
Well, you'd be
That's
annoyed
not
if that was written down. Oh, it's actually a bunch of hard shit.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Rock is. We accept rock like it's a normal term.
Because we have rock here and rock is hard and they have it there.
Yeah, but I
rock's not
doubt
an
it's the same
element.
fucking rock. I'd be fucking flabbergasted if I got to Jupiter. It's like, oh, these rocks look just like our rocks.
Yeah. Be like if you went to a place and you said, I want the meat. What do you want for food? I want meat.
Yeah, but rock isn't an earth substance. It's a term for Hard stuff. Like, remember this moon rock? This Mars rock?
I want to know what Jupiter's made of. You can't use the
Jupiter
word
rock.
You can't make the word. You can't use the word rock.
I can picture an
It's
Earth
too
rock
generic.
being on Mars rock. Like, kind of the same. Kind of
Well,
interchangeable.
what's another word for
Jupiter
rock?
rock? What the hell is that?
Well, rock's made of something. Tell me what the rock is. Don't just say rock. It's
Which
rocks.
kind of rock? Are we talking like
Exactly.
sedimentary?
That's what I'm saying. What is? You can't just say rock. You know?
I could smell what it's cooking.
It'd be like if you did the whole thing. You said cloud tops, gaseous hydrogen, liquid hydrogen, metallic hydrogen, and then core. If it just said Jupiter bit, like in the middle, it's like that's it.
Juptonium.
It's a bunch of Jupes.
It's like we're talking about the innovation chief in Austin.
Jupes.
It's like you can't use the term innovation to describe your job. You can't use the word to define
it
what the
looks like
thing is.
they found a picture of what was at the core of Jupiter.
This is the surface of Jupiter.
Is in
Right
fact
there.
made of Dwayne Johnson.
It's too
Everyone,
generic.
you're fired.
That's too
Everyone, just get out.
That's too
Get out.
generic. Wouldn't that be awesome though? If you got
just
down
him
to
in the
Jupiter and it's
center.
just him.
Yeah, he's like, hey, what's up? I've been there the whole time.
Welcome to Jupiter, bitches.
It's like, you should have been expecting it. It was in the write-up. It's at the rock.
Or everything.
Or
that
he's
was
just in the
ever
middle of
rock.
a gas giant going like this. Sorry, everybody.
I had some emissions.
And Alcatraz is there too.
Who?
No.
Like the
Don't
movie.
repeat it.
All right.
Don't repeat it.
Let's go.
He said Alcatraz.
If you can go to any horrible. Yeah.
So coming back from lunch the other day, we were driving here down the street, and there was an ambulance like pulled off to the side, blocking access to one of the streets, and its lights were on. And I said, "Oh, looks like something's going on here." So we had to slow down to kind of get around it because it was blocking the street a little bit. And as we were pulling around the ambulance, this SWAT officer, like in full body armor, carrying his rifle, like came running around the side of the ambulance. And if you look down the street, they had their like tactical whatever vehicle there, like their armor-plated vehicle, and there were SWAT officers running everywhere up and down the street. We were like, "Oh shit, something's going on!" It's literally like the next block over. And then as we're driving past, everyone in the car is looking out down the street at the SWAT standoff, whatever's going on, and I'm still driving. And then to the left here, on the left side of the street, there's a car pulled over, and I see a woman get out of the passenger side of the car, and like she's running after this horse that's next to the apartment complex over here, and she tackles it, like she jumps at it and like grabs it around the neck, and it's like trying to
God.
wrestle it down to the ground.
What a fucking badass.
I was like, what the fuck is going on over
but
here?
then the question is, are those related?
Are those related? And if not, what the fuck is going on? That those two events are happening at the same time, literally across the street from each other.
And why would you need a SWAT team
It's
for
like
a
the SWAT
pony?
team's looking over here for something, and this woman's fucking tackling a horse over here. And they're both like oblivious to each other.
Think about how the SWAT guy feels. He's like running up to this major catastrophe and then just sees some other woman tackling a horse. He's like, what is happening?
Today's
What happened to
crazy.
the planet?
It wasn't even like a full-size real horse. It was like a Shetland pony.
Yeah, I've seen that pony
Was
running
it
around.
was it orange?
No, it was
Oh.
like brownish.
Okay, never mind.
You
know,
seen
down
that pony
down
around here?
Slaughter, like right before Brody, there's that white fence on the north side. Like it's some kind of in Texas. Sometimes you end up with like these ranch houses where they have lots of land and then the city grows around them.
Yeah.
And they just are like one of the last like private properties to give it up. Basically, see it occasionally. There's one of those that's down Slaughter. They have a herd of Saint Bernards. They got like 8 Saint Bernards. You ever seen them?
No.
And they come up next to the fence sometime. It's really weird to see like a pack of Saint Bernards.
That's
Yeah,
on Slaughter.
that's weird.
Yeah, yeah. It's right before like the Taco Bell.
Do they have the booze around the neck?
No, they don't have the barrels. They're not like
They're all
digging
just getting
people
drunk
out
with each other.
snowbanks or anything like that.
Okay. Well,
There's something I
We're
want
at
to show though. There's something I want to show. This struck me as really funny. Patrick, you got that photo that I put up? They released the first still image from Guardians of the Galaxy.
I
Do you-
did see.
Do you know
this.
anything about this?
An episode recently that you missed, Jack sat in that chair
and talked
tried-
about Guardians of the
tried
Galaxy.
to tell me why Rocket Raccoon was awesome,
This picture?
and I said, "This sounds like the dumbest fucking thing in the world."
Here's the picture of it. This is the still they released, exclusive photo. I think that was for USA Today. This is Guardians of the Galaxy. I took one look at this photo. You know what that photo is? That is a photo of how my mother described every video game ever. If my mother described a video game, that would be a picture of it. It's like there's a man on a spaceship and there's a talking fox and a lady who's green. That's exactly what she would say. I saw that and I was like, oh my god.
It
is that
looks
the-
like a low-rent remake of Farscape.
What is that? What is?
So is that
why
the
did they make a
Rocket
new
Raccoon
movie?
That was
thing?
Rocket Raccoon.
The
Did
tiny-
you see him? The raccoon with the fucking rocket launcher?
So who are the other superheroes there?
Wasn't there a guy who was like
Shit
small
Man
and,
and
he could punch
Green
stuff?
Girl?
Ant guy, was it? Ant-Man?
Oh, Ant-Man, yeah.
Is Ant-Man in that picture?
Is Ant-Man in that picture?
No, Ant-Man's not in that. Not in that.
He
What
is,
does Ant-Man
but he's very, very small.
Does Ant-Man look like an ant? I can never.
Is
remember.
Ant-Man one of the
No.
Guardians of the Galaxy?
Jack said so.
Oh, well, maybe I stand corrected.
Ant-Man might, he's a man, but he's
Who's
small.
the lead dude? Who
If
does
I could-
Chris Pratt play?
The human race as a whole has crustier anuses
Go ahead.
because they just sit on the toilet after they've done pooing for too long. They're usually because they're just on their phones. No, what?
Do
you
you
don't agree?
say
What do you think that leads to crusty anus?
Well, I mean, people don't wipe quick enough, and it gets crusty.
No, that's why they have wet wipes. That's why they sell so well now.
Sales of wet wipes have gone through the roof.
That's an interesting theory.
Bat and phones.
crustier anuses?
Yeah, like the anal hygiene isn't what it was.
So well, this might be the weirdest way to lead into this conversation, but I found a new iPhone game that I like a lot. I was going to talk about it on Patch on Wednesday.
So,
Am I going to be on the Patch on Wednesday?
oh shit, I gotta figure that out. Yeah,
Okay. So have you played Threes yet?
I've heard of it. I haven't.
You
played
will
it yet.
like
What
Threes
is this
because it's
game?
basically math.
Yeah,
It's like rapid fight. Not really math, not really, but it kind of is. It's like a little basic, like adding the same pairs over and over again, but it's just like an OCD, like matching things and making them line up, and it's a lot of fun.
it sounds.
And
right up my alley.
I could sit here for 5 minutes and explain it perfectly, and you still wouldn't understand it.
I see
gotta
lots of
play it.
articles about it. It seems like it's something that's really popular.
It's fun.
Someone was telling me about it recently. I forget who it was. Telling me I should check it out.
A lot of these iPhone, that's it right there. So basically, you like
Threes.
you gotta. It's called Threes because you have red tiles and blue tiles, and those are ones and twos, and you combine those to make threes, and then you have to match all those pairs together. That's lined up perfectly symmetric, or like chronologically, or however you want to say it. You'll never get it like that ever. You're usually like a whole board of those. And you're trying to like shift things around. Remember those old school like,
numerically?
numerically? Thank you. New chronologically.
I'm looking at it, and you're talking about it and explaining
They
it. and I
invented
have
the
no
numbers in
idea-
order in
You
time.
just have to rearrange them so they're in order.
I have no idea what
They
that
must
game
have,
is.
right? They must have invented numbers in order.
What do you mean?
Like, you wouldn't have invented 12 until you had 11 because you didn't need 12.
Well,
So
you're
they-
saying that a caveman was like, well, 5. Oh wait, we can have less than this and more than this.
No, I'm serious. I'm dead serious. Numbers must have been invented chronologically. They must have been. Like 10 didn't exist until 9 and 8 were there.
Well,
Because-
I think maybe 5 was the first number.
You think so?
'Cause they
there's-
Just
looked
look
at
at
the
how many
hand.
figures you have.
Why was
Oh.
Maybe it was 10. Maybe they looked at both at the same time.
Maybe it was 11 because they were naked.
No, because somebody said, how many fingers do you have? You said, well, let's find out. What's this? We'll call it 1. This is 2. They'd have to work their way through
because
it.
one sounds like thumb.
Well, nobody would ask how many of something do you have if there were no numbers in place yet.